Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for a very happy day and a very sad day. A very happy day because we get one more episode of Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai, and a very sad day because there's only one more episode of Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai. Which is really fucking sad because this unexpected, weird looking, weird art, not super detailed, fucking crazy ass 6 episode old as fuck OVA made by Oshi and Co. is the coolest thing that I've seen in a long time. This is a flippin' masterpiece, and I don't pretend that I understand it, but it's really cool and I really like it. Last week we got some insane reveals. I assume that those will dedicate how this will dictate how this episode ends up progressing, because that big reveal at the end there was woo, that was a thing. Turns out our homie Moroto Bunmei, also seemingly the other guy as well, but I don't know. He's a Yomota. He's part of the family, and Mariko is his mother. And her own grandmother, it seems. It's weird and strange. And so he has gone back in time and dedicated his entire life to the Time Patrol and Coca-Cola, apparently, so that he can go back in time and prevent her from meeting Inumaro and whatever, and prevent her from continuing their family onward. Incestuously, I guess. Okay. Other things in the previous episode, some great moments from Tamako, an incredibly animated, extraordinarily expressive dance and song number from Tatara Banai and Tamako. Both of their voice actors doing an absolutely incredible job of it, and the animators absolutely killing it all the way through. Beyond that, nothing in the previous episode really stood out to me. There were some great conversations, and we discussed them a lot, but we didn't really come to the best of conclusions about them. Just, thought-provoking stuff that provokes thoughts, and then we thought a bunch, and we're like, yep, that was fun. I don't know what's happening. So that's where we sit here, going into the finale of Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai. I don't think that it's possible to have any kind of expectations here, especially considering that a large time machine-like entity, or big mechanical thing, dropped out of the ceiling and seemingly crushed the majority of our cast at the end of the last episode. Makes me think that, we're just gonna disconnect, like complete disconnect from where we ended the episode 5, and straight into somewhere different, something weird for episode 6, and then slowly, progressively show us how we got from there to here, if at all. Do I expect any kind of, legitimate resolution or ending to this? Kind of no. I kind of expect a loop because of the amount of conversation that or not conversation, because it wasn't dialogue, it was monologue mostly, that various characters have had about loops and time and endings and beginnings and the nature of stories and how blah 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 blah, and going back and forth on whether that should be kind of rejected or those principles should be adhered to, or whether beginnings matter, endings matter, etc., and also talking about some of the like philosophical implications of why do we care about stories, and giving a hypothesis, that being that we lack some crucial elements of our own lives, those especially being birth and death. We're unable to experience those for ourselves without, dying. So we try to live vicariously through characters on screens and plays and books and stories. And that way we can experience some of those things via our imaginations. That taps into a lot of my own personal beliefs about humans and the way that we function as entities in the world and what we are and what we do. So that was pretty neat all around. I have no idea what to expect from this finale. I can only expect that it's going to be interesting. Beyond that, I got nothing. I've got high hopes and high expectations, and we're setting the bar high, but I have, no doubt that we're going to clear it. So, that has all been said. I went ahead and I imported the video, the episode, into my editor for later, for the discussion and stuff, which we'll be doing later because we're gonna need it, most likely. And I've got the video episode thing ready to go. So, let's go ahead and dive on into Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai episode 6, the finale of this crazy story. And let's find out if it's a finale, or a restart, or a loop, or crazy. Maybe all of the above. Who knows? In any case, I've got the episode up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction. You can find a picture-in-picture version of the video up there, linked in the description. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. If you want to do a syncy thing, sync up your own copy with the timer, you can totally do that. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. Burbs? This is different. That's a photo. Is that a photo? That's not a photo. Nah. It's pretty good, though. Gorgeous clouds. Okay, where the fuck are we? Are we just out in the middle of a field? Huh. Those are familiar plants. Whoa, whoa! Is that Tamako? And the golf club. Callback. That is Dad. Whoa. Dog. Because Inumaru. What's the next thing that'll come across then? Okay. He's tiny now? Or is the Coke bottle really big? You gonna stand on it and run on it? No. How big is he compared to that thing? No, seriously, how big is he compared to that thing? Okay, he's normal size. Good. No moolah. Can you pull a Moroto Bunmei out? No. Betrayed. Oh my god! You pulled a Moroto Bunmei out! What the fuck? Is that their building? It's pretty fucking dilapidated. Family dog. What did we do? Also, we've opened with complete silence all the way through. Like, there's no dialogue. This is insane. That's such a choice. Dude, he's just in a nightmare land. Oh, he was actually in a nightmare land, wasn't he? And what is he wearing? Wow, it was a dream. Okay. Fuck you, show. That was awesome. You don't seem to be doing so hot, buddy. Yeah. Hi. Is this real now? What the hell is going on? Yeah? Papillon? What? Refreshing memory. Papillon, what does that mean? Also, where's the OP? This isn't the OP? Butterfly. Butterfly dream. Okay. Okay. This is like a full credits roll, isn't it? So we open with a dialogue-free dream sequence that is a nightmare of Inumaru running through the past and his potentialities? Wouldn't it be funny if just the next 25 minutes are all just this credit roll and we're just sitting here waiting for it? Like, okay, when does the thing start? That would be the douchiest thing that Oshii could ever do. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. I hope that that's not true. Gosh, I hope. Feels like the song's ending, so. Okay, and that seems to be blank, so. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's the last thing. Good, great, good. We're done. Let's go. Senzo. Bon. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate ya. Odin or ramen or whatever. Somebody was mad at me for getting it wrong. Looks like Odin. Jesus. Buddy boy, that's a lot of noodle. Down the hatch. Ah. No, What? Oh, there it is. That sounded like it was through a walkie-talkie or a... Oh, Soba, not Odin. It sounds like it's coming through a speaker. Do you want water? Are you talking to a robot? It's a robot. Why are you here? Yeah. Show me the flip side, man. Fair point. Who are you speaking to? Years. Yeah. It's real complicated, bud. Oh, you're gonna intro story? Yep. Okay, we've got a framing device. Street Side Soba Song, Yomota Inumaru. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh shit, he's got a voice. It's got a really, really sweet resonant quality to it. In the mids and with no... Wow, he's got no growl. A decent condo. So appreciation for what we had. Okay, so we should use the length of his ponytail as a judgment of time, so it's been years. Whoa, that is some real deal stuff, Inumaru. Wow. For anything. Right. A spark that starts a story, a beginning, right? She. Ah. Welcome to the start of the story, yes. Probably not. But it's true. But it's true. Oh, hi, Spotlight. Right. Which should have been proof. Hi, Maroko. Hi. Okay. Are they? Or do they matter? Adolescent boy. Is that older Maroko? And is she really there, or is he imagining her there / invoking her image via the story? I assume the latter. Unless we indicate that she's actually there. Good? Good. So then who banged her? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. False dichotomy. Yeah. But they weren't. True. Hmm. Those sound pretty good. Except the fugitives part. Okay. Buddy. They studied for this shit. They studied for this shit. Dude, the fingerings. I don't know that much guitar, but I know enough to know that that was studied. Also, to make the individual strings glimmer as they're plucked instead of trying to draw them all at once is really smart. He's got such a voice on him, man. What the hell? Dude, it's right. And then he just did a double strum. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we're back here. Oh, they woke up there. Oh. No sign. You had been duped, you thought. I don't know if you've been duped, though. Huh. Whoa. Do you think that's what happened, though? I don't know if that's what happened, though. Because they don't know about Moroto. They don't know the full story, do they? Right? Each of you abandoned the others at some point, but all of you came back. Okay, so you then split for real. Do you think so? Do you think he's right? Nothing of interest? Is he the soba seller? Uh-huh! They're together! Cool! Oh. Never mind, that makes sense. You're just a wandering... Why soba shops? I don't think so. He wants her back. He wants the family. Oh. Oh, fuck. That is too real, buddy. Yeah. Have you paid? Wait, is that? But it's... What? That was a dream within a dream? That was a dream within a dream. Fuck you, show. Who is sitting next to you? We don't see his face. Bruh. Is he starving? I feel like he's starving. Holy shit, it's like a pilgrimage now. What the fuck? He is dying. There is not that much time left. What the fuck are we doing? And is it another dream within a dream? Yellow up top? That's pretty weird, dude. What are the bells? Stripped bare. Their yellow car. Wow, through all the places. This has to be a dream within a dream. It has to be a dream again. Doesn't it? Because those locations can't be near each other. Except that it's a stage play. Wait. Is this just, this is the image of the human experience? Constantly chasing after something you can never reach? I don't know. Ow. This is the Muroto Bunmei song, right? It's similar. What the okay, these are just memories. What? Will we get a curtain call? All the characters out on one stage? Oh, that cut. Butterfly dream. Is he gonna die here? Or is this a fuck? He's just gonna be covered in snow. I have so many thoughts swirling in my head about this episode. I cannot put them straight. I cannot put them into like any kind of order. Fuck. Um, okay, there's an element of this that's highly familiar in that we have a character who is embodying the old wanderer, arriving at a place where they can speak, a bar, a soba shop, whatever. This is a classic form of narrative framing. You get an old dude, comes to a place, tells his story, and then dies in the real world after the story. But that's a dream within a dream, and then there's a dream within that dream, and then there's a dream outside of that dream, and then is that reality or what? We don't know. But it's all within a stage play, and what? And we don't know. And then we kill him at the end to make this a tragedy, which it does, and it is. But then, wait, what? Is that intentional? Is that as a rejection of, like, the need for satisfying endings? Or is that the satisfying ending in and of itself? Inumaru dying here doesn't change the loop that occurs. The loop just happens to be a tragic one where he dies, right? But then, if true, Maroto Bunmei's not possible because Maruko wouldn't have had a kid unless he's right in stating that Maruko was a liar the entire time and not their family, and is not Maroto. It maybe is Maroto Bunmei's family, but not the Yomotos. What the fuck? And then the entire episode is essentially a one-man play with only the soba seller, who is a voice that we've heard before. I'm going to look into that. I need to look into who is the soba vendor, because whose voice that is seems relevant to me. And then the driver as well, who I think was the same voice actor, because that was the voice that he was, like, hearing into his dream, I think. And he's craving food because he's fucking starving. In the same way that in the initial dream that we get, he's craving some kind of drink and it's Coke, but then he gets foiled by Maroto Bunmei. He's running through an endless field seeking his family, but when he finds it, he runs from them. And then he seeks a beverage but trips over a Coca-Cola. And when he does get a beverage from the vending machine, it's not what he wants inside. It's Maroto. It's not satisfaction. And then he returns to the place where he started, their condo, which had a problem with it and has been taken down. There are elements of all of the locations, the Coke sign, the vehicle, a bunch of things. And he ends up seeing the blimp, the Kodak blimp, and chasing after it. Futile. Useless. It's not even Maruko, right? It's just a symbol that he's related to her. And the color. And then we get the butterfly. What is Maruko a translatable? Or is it a nameable? No, the blimp's the time machine. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up in my editor so that we can go through it. I don't think that like visually this episode was the most biggity bonkers ever. There were some awesome things in it, no doubt, and we're gonna find some of them and go through them. But the animation wasn't the standout in this one. It was the storytelling and the weirdness. It seems like a decision was made at some point that this is going to be a show without answers. Is Maroko a con artist, or is she a family member with genuine intentions? There's not enough information for us to know actually. We know what conclusion Inumaru came to. We know what conclusion the whole family came to. But we don't know if they're right. And so it remains a mystery that we don't get an ending to. The story ends because the character ends. Inumaru, our closest thing to an insert character, ends. He's dead. The story is over. But the story lives on within us as a question, or a set of questions. What really happened? Is she really their family? Did she have good intentions, or is she a con artist who's done this a dozen times? If so, or if not, who is Moroto Bunmei? / Inumaro Yomota? Don't know. Can't know. Can we? It's like the decision was made that we're going to create a thing that shirks every norm, including the storytelling. And then we're going to, in like multiple episodes in the middle of the series, we're going to talk about that. And then when we do it, you're still not going to figure it out. Whoa. What? What is this show? How does this work? I cannot find the soba vendor. All right, we are good to go, I suppose, for this episode. Now, in the time that I've spent just like getting this set up, which takes a while because it takes forever to open, I've had some thoughts. More on the like overall thoughts about the thing front than on this episode in particular front, because this episode is, I don't know, it's almost a recap in a way of like the events from Inumaru's perspective and his reminiscences about it and like how he feels about them, and then the decisions that he makes after them. I've got a couple of core thoughts. One, this show should be a mess, but it isn't. It's massively self-contradictory. Its philosophies are all a jumble. Its characters act totally different from episode to episode. Like, the Tamako that we meet in episode 1 is so different from the Tamako that we meet in episode 2. But it makes sense that she would become that person, given the situation. It's ridiculous, and it continuously plays with the ability of us as an audience to actually suspend our disbelief. Either by showing us in like no uncertain terms that what's going on is a performance and a form of performance art, as a thing going on a stage or a song or something, but also making us feel like it's very, very real and like we care about these characters and that there are real possibilities here. Almost everything that's presented to us as like fact within the show can be questioned. The butt star, was it real on her? Like, if so, does that make her family? Or did she paint a butt star on herself knowing that their family had a butt star and knowing that was the way to present evidence of her, like, relationship to them? I don't know. No way to find out, is there? And that's totally okay, right? Because everything's left kind of open-ended, it doesn't really matter that it's self-contradictory. You can draw whatever conclusions you want from it if you want to. So here's another thought conclusion-wise. Could Inumaru have gone a different route? Because a big portion of this episode feels like an indictment of Inumaru's mentality, of his ideas and his choices. First, an indictment from himself of his previous self, the boy who would stand on the window out on the balcony looking at the field of goldenrod hoping for something to change, which fits quite distinctly into the conversation that we had outside of the beach shack thing, where he's told that like if you're sitting around waiting for something to start your story, you're an idiot. Then we have this impression that Inumaru is potentially like a pretty talented, pretty okay kind of person. And like, what if he just didn't go seeking something that was unobtainable? What if he had been able to shake that obsession and just move on and go do something with his life? It seems like he could have. Now, Tamako seems a little more crazy, and she was into that into Tatara Banbanzai, and they ended up in a weird case of some kind. And Kinakuni is a little bonkers too, and going and robbing from banks and shit. But Inumaru, I get the impression that he had a chance. That this is truly a tragedy, a self-inflicted one. That the blame game that he plays with Maruko is kind of false. It's kind of his fault. Huh. And I'm still deeply in love with her. This one portion, just this one, I think it's like 15 seconds total of dialogue and voice actor performance, is like the most heartbreaking portrayal of a lost love that I've ever seen, and it awakened some shit in me that I had put away for a long time. Holy macaroni. I just want to hear his voice throughout this. Even with all the hatred, even with all the reasons to dislike her. Oh, no. The half cry? But the reality is that Inumaru here is dreaming of himself as like a romanticized lost love wanderer constantly seeking his lost love in Maruko, when that's not the case. He's created a fiction for himself to fill the void that she has left when she disappeared, assumingly with Moroto Bunmei and the time police and whatever at the end of episode 5. Like, this isn't happening. This is all imaginary in his brain skull. And I assume that it has to do with Soba because he's fucking starving. So, is he trying to like get a pity free bowl of Soba? Is that what this is going for? Trying not to pay? But it doesn't matter. So in his own subconscious, he knows that what he's saying to himself is false. That was a pretty good story. But if you want to tell a stupid story like that, you better start with a better premise. And so he's actually indicting himself for falling for it as well. Yo, editing T here. Just on watching back through this and my own discussion and stuff, I have another thought, just a weird one. It strikes me as odd that given the supposition that Inumaru is within his own head in his dream state, imagining this version of himself, it seems really interesting that he's given himself a nickname like Inumaru the Tragic. It actually makes me wonder something interesting, and whether we can choose to interpret this in a more optimistic way. What if, as opposed to an actual death of the character himself, we are watching the little deaths of parts of his character after the betrayal and realizations that he's come to? What if we're watching Inumaru the Tragic die? What if we're watching Inumaru the Conceited die? What if we're watching the birth of a real person through the deaths of his less than whole selves, his bits and pieces that are holding him back? I don't know if there's actually enough to go off of there, but I think that in the spirit of this episode of Weird is Fucking Weird, I think we could say, in a way, that if we really want to, we can interpret this entire episode as a papillon dream, a butterfly dream where Inumaru finally comes to the realization that he can't keep chasing after something impossible and needs to actually do something with his life. If we want to interpret it that way. I don't know, just a thought. Okay, and off he goes to die. And he does. And this is totally different from everything. Is this real or a dream? It's unknown, but it seems to be real. And it's called Papillon Dream, Butterfly Dream. The butterfly that rests by him as he's on his way to death and then flutters away. Does not stay, does not remain. But it's in this moment he tosses everything aside and chases mindlessly after this blimp, the Kodak blimp. That's, I guess, the symbol of the past behind, right? So why move it sideways, out of frame? Because he's leaving it behind, he's choosing to. That's the reality there, is a broken home. A place that he could try to fix if he could, right? He runs heedlessly past their old car, past the locations that they've been, past everything that would have mattered, chasing Maruko, despite her being the thing that ruined all of that. Desperate obsession. And an unwillingness to tell or start his own story. Whoa. And the cuts are amazing. I'm not gonna say that they're anything but. They're hyper emotional. There's so much to them. This like gasping, grasping, stumbling forward. Eyes going cold, lips becoming chapped and tired, face getting wrinkled, eaten shit, and unable to keep moving. He falls, the snow falls, he says, Ma-ro-ko, and dreams of a beach, I assume. And her. And the snow falls, and an uncaring yellow butterfly stops by and leaves him to be covered and frozen. How touching and sad and weird. And at the same time, it's his fault and his decision, so do I pity him? Do I care for him? Do I feel compassion toward him? I don't know. This opening dream sequence is so crazy and weird. At first I thought that maybe like the time machine had landed on him and sent him to the past, and now he's wandering the literal past, like, oh shit, that's me. Or maybe the entire thing up until the moment he arrives is a sequence of dreams in his head as he's dying. Because they're all elements that he would know of, right? Like Dad with the golf club. Also, why does his dad at this picnic have a golf club? I realize that it's a dream, right? But why does his dad at this picnic have a golf club? He wouldn't. If he did, it would be in the car and he'd have to go and fetch it, right? So he has a golf club because Inumaru thinks of his father and thinks of his father with that golf club when they knew each other in episode 1. Just elements brought there. Himself as a child, his own innocence, the loss of it, having to flee from it, perhaps? Being rejected by his own family? He trips over this Coke can and suddenly he's smaller than a 1 foot by 1 foot tile on the ground. The blades of grass are the size of his hand. But he's not. Because it's a dream. It's ridiculous. It's insane. It doesn't make sense. And then we bait and switch, making us think that maybe we're doing a forced perspective interesting thing with the camera here. But we're not. And it's super weird because we can still see the tiles on the ground, and he's really small in comparison to the tiles. Maybe I guess the Coke machine is really tiny too. Does that make sense? I don't know. And it's Maroto Bunmei stuck in a can of Coke. And a kind of crazy cut. I mean, it's super weird and wibbity wonkety looking, but it's also really fluid and weird. What? And that brings his attention to the building. The broken home and Maruko above. Family dog. But it's sinister. And it's him, right? Yeah. And he tries to run toward... This is so fun. He tries to run toward it, and we move the cell at the wrong rate, so it's like he cannot progress. That classic dream of, like, you're running, but it's a treadmill, and the thing is chasing you, and oh, fuck, I can't get away. But this time, it's I can't get there to kill it. Whoa. Also, environments became, like, photorealistic all of a sudden, partly. The OP is removed in favor of a credit roll. Why is the soba vendor... Why does he sound like he's speaking through a microphone? Also, just the sequence of him eating is so cool. It's just so good. The general character animation for little things in this whole thing is amazing. Okay, weird question. Of all the characters, Inumaru is the one who looks most like a puppet. They all have that sort of puppetiness to their joints and limbs, but Inumaru has, like, distinctive separations between his segments of fingers. I wonder if that's intentional, like he has been puppeted by Maruko over the course of the story. Maybe. Okay. And it seems like the initial responses from the soba vendor are, like, canned recorded responses, like it's a mechanical automaton or something, because he asks about certain things and the soba vendor is just like, okay, but there's a deeply different quality to his voice. Like he's speaking through either a walkie-talkie or a radio or when a voice actor is in the booth, there's always a way for the person who's directing to contact them within the booth, and it's usually not the best quality of microphone or anything. It's just like a little stand mic that they'll talk into. They'll push a button and be like, all right, can I get another take of that, please? Okay, let's go. Right? That's what this sounds like to me, is like the voice actor director is prompting him. But it's not. It's weird. Okay, so here he tells the story. Typical core family in the city. Nothing crazy. Had a decent condo, a decent life, although we found out that the condo had genuine problems. Father had debts, but whatever. We all had problems and flaws. It's like, this is... I don't know. Again, it might not be possible to draw real conclusions, but this feels to me like a direct-to-audience statement, like looking directly into the camera and saying, hey, your life might feel normal. It could be a lot worse. Be careful if you wish for something crazy to happen and shake things up. It might not go the way you want it to. Maybe be more content with what you got. Family's important. Also, isn't it interesting that Maruko expressed that exact same sentiment? That family matters, that family is important, and yet her actions ended up destroying their family? If what we see of Inumaru here is to be believed? I don't know. How strange. I was full of conceit. Always wanted to go out, but was scared of society. Oof, that's real. That's some real deal stuff. Now that feels Oshii, you know? This is a person, Inumaru, who refused to make something of himself, to become, right? You have to. If you don't become something of your own, someone else is going to make you into something of theirs. That's one interpretation, but there are infinite interpretations, I think. Oh my god. So day after day, I would look out onto the horizon, hoping for something crazy to arrive, right? But there's also a contentedness with this situation. There's something kind of cool and like almost meditative about being content with just leaning out from the balcony and listening to the goldenrod. It struck me as very peaceful and fun. Waiting for someone to bring chaos and destruction. She did. And then words and words. Something without evidence or reality can only be disputed by words and words. Huh. Right, you accepted her argument, so... And then his song is fantastic. It's as good as any of the others. He's a really good singer. The guitar work is fucking perfect. I mean, okay, just look at the neck of the guitar and like, just look at the tuning pegs and how they move. It's fucking bullshit. What? There's no CG. How did you make a solid body object? Like, believably. How did you do that? Geometry and being really good at animation. Fuck you. Fuck you. This is a masterpiece and I don't understand it at all. I need to watch it again. I just want to watch this whole thing again. This is like my favorite show right now. I'm straight up, I'm gonna go to my anime list right now, and I'm just gonna rate Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai a 10 out of 10 really quick. Unless Mal is still down. Mal is still down. Well, rip. Okay, well then I will just tell you that as soon as Mal is up, I am going to go and rate Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai a 10 out of 10. If I could rate it higher, I would. I have never seen anything like this show. I am amazed that this isn't a bigger part of, like, common anime knowledge. But at the same time, I'm not, because it's so weird and ethereal and ununderstandable and intentionally so, and bonkers, and the anime styling is weird, and the art style is strange, and you look at the cover of it and you go, nah, that looks fucking bad. But then you watch any of it, and it's mind-blowingly, like, filled and dripping with intent. And all of that intent goes in different directions in a way that makes it work somehow. It's like it's spreading out in different directions, but it's like equivalent pressure in all possible orientations. So you're just like, this is perfectly in balance, as all things should be, except that I have no idea what it is. Oh my god. Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai is bonkers. Honestly, I think I have a new, like, oh, you want to get into, like, the artsy stuff? Here, watch this. It'll blow your face off. It'll fuck you up real good, bud. But I don't think so, though. I think you, like, that's another problem. I think you need to have seen a certain, like, amount of anime to know what the fuck is going on here. It's kind of like Eizouken, where when you look at the character designs on the face of things, they don't look like standard anime character designs. They look kind of cheap almost, you would think, but if you've seen enough anime, you look at that and you go, oh shit, that's stylistically different and, like, intentionally so, and there's actually some, like, really good artistic stuff to that. And then you continue watching the show and you realize, like, oh, this is a lot. There's a lot going on. Part of the reason that our characters are so, like simplistic is because everything else, like, there's a focus for every episode in terms of animation, and there's a lot of it. It's like Eizouken in that way, but Eizouken's more accessible. This one is not accessible. Hell, I don't even know if this is that accessible if you don't have some kind of general grounding in narratives and how they work, because it's so deeply interested in narratives and how they work. And if you're unfamiliar with, like, stage plays at all, you're fucked. And if you don't understand Rakugo, you're kind of fucked. And if you don't have any experience of abstract art or abstract storytelling, or, like, waiting for Godot's or other weird things, then that makes it really difficult. So I don't know if this is a good intro to artsy weird shit anime. It's too weird, isn't it? Shit, Oshi. You kind of fucked yourself by making this thing too cool. Damn, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap here in an unsatisfying way, because it's an unsatisfying ending, and intentionally so, and I understand that, and I'm satisfied with the fact that it's unsatisfying. Oh god, so different from yesterday with fucking Teeaboo movie. Oh, so different. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I was so mad yesterday because that ending was like the opposite. Actually, we gotta talk about this. Teeaboo movie has the ending that everyone wanted, right? The thing that everybody wanted finally happens at the end of that movie. And it means nothing to me. It's worthless to me. It sucks. I don't like it. Because the story that is built around it, and I mean built around that conclusion, is nonsensical. It's bleh. This is the opposite, man. The story built around this ending is so stellar that the ending itself almost doesn't matter and is more of a thought-provoking, maybe a fuck you to the audience, maybe symbolic, maybe a dream in a dream, maybe Inumaru just died and it's an indictment of his desire for something else to change his life and his unwillingness to take the reins himself. You don't know. I don't know, and I'm okay with that. I'll probably watch this again over the next week, and I'll probably come to different conclusions, or the same conclusion that there is no conclusion. And I'm okay with this. Polar fucking opposites. This is a piece of art that chooses to end in an unsatisfying way, and does so in a way that is satisfying. Don't ask me how. Oh, she's a fucking genius. Teeaboo is a piece of media that it tries desperately to end in a satisfying way and ends up telling an unsatisfying story. Polar opposites. I like this a lot more. I like it a lot more. It's so good. Whew. I don't know who I can even share that with, though. It has to be anime weebs. It's gotta be weebifiers. Shit. Okay. We're gonna wrap. I have no conclusions about Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai, except that I really like it. A lot. A lot. This is just a perfect imperfection. I like it. Okay. That's the end. I'm sad. That's it. Alright. I have no idea what we're going to watch next on the Retro Monday OVAdrive slot. My entire brain has been taken up by Gosenzo-sama for a little bit right now. I figure, like, one option is to try and stay on the Oshi train and do some of that stuff. But we're getting down to it where we would either have to, like, watch a movie like Angel's Egg, which would be fun and crazy, but I don't know if I'll be in the mood for that next Monday. That'll just depend. Or, like, watch a couple episodes of a major series like Urusei Yatsura, which we're probably not going to watch all of, because fuck that. Not in my OVAdrive slot, at least. Because I want this to continue being a relatively fast-moving slot. So, it may behoove me to go and seek out a different director and shake things up a little bit. Let Gosenzo-sama and the other Oshi work sit for a little while, and maybe go find another Kawajiri show, or something along those lines. I expect that after I've said this and released this video, some people will probably hit me with a couple of recommendations in the Discord. You're more than welcome to do so in the comments as well. Feel free. But we'll see, and we'll play it by ear next time. I'll just try to have whatever I want to end up watching downloaded for next time. Or maybe we'll go for like a one-off shitty thing to make fun of, because that could be really fun. We've had excellence in the OVAdrive slot for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Maybe we need something really bad to shake it up. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, I have been Teeaboo. This has been Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai. I really hope you've enjoyed this thing as much as I have. It would give me no end to joy if other people got enjoyment out of this show, because it's awesome, and I hope that a few people have found this thing because I've watched it. That would be the dream for me. Okay, that's a wrap. Me, Teeaboo, Gosenzo. Hope you liked it. See you next week. Peace. I'm just gonna instapause. I am just gonna instapause. How were those plants interpolated? How are they? They're not. They're just speedline blurred. Oh, that's so smart. It's just two layers. There's one up front. There's one up front on like in the foreground with speedlines over it, and there's one in the background that's just solid greens, right? And then he's just going, so he's running from something? Look at the expressiveness in just the little bits and pieces of his face that peer through the thing. He's crying, he's sweating, he's like groaning, he's freaking out. Oh my god, Inumaru, what happened to you? How did you get here? This is a fascinating introduction. Okay, completely disconnected from what we saw previously. How? I don't know, maybe we'll find out in the future. What is Inumaru dealing with? We're in the midst of a chase sequence. Oh man, what kind of films start in the middle of a chase? Like it's in media res, but like starting in the middle of a chase. Quantum of Solace did that, didn't they? Kind of. But that's not what this feels like. This is different. This is like open a horror movie and you've got a blonde girl running through the woods, like getting smacked by branches and shit, right? This is that. Okay. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at his shirt. Just look at his shirt. Just look at his shirt. Oh my god, the way he falls, gets back up, tries to like grasp onto branches and fails because they're too thin to pull himself up. Look, he reaches out with one hand and pushes down and it fails. And then the other, and then now he's just running. Wait, what was that smear? Right. Oh my god, his hand. Look at his shirt. Oh my gosh, okay. Is this the past? Is that him? Is that Tamako? And then... Okay, hold on. Okay, there was one other thing. Yeah. Okay. Did you hear that squeak? Right there, as he switches positions, as his hand slides up the frets. I guess it would be down the frets, because that's how they, yeah. I think they studied or recorded the guitarist playing this. And then attempted to make the animation as accurate to it as they could. I don't have a perfect picture or anything, but I'm pretty sure that every chord change, he, one, has the hand position for a legitimate chord, and two, the chord changes actually follow the chord changes of the song. And the notes that he's playing on the strings are pretty damn close too. And just the idea that they haven't drawn all the strings on there and are just drawing them as light flashes as they move when he plucks them or strums them is brilliant. Because, like, every time you see a guitar in any kind of a drawing, if it's not either ultra highly detailed and somebody has used a bunch of rulers to make sure that all the lines are straight, or it's made in CG so that all the lines are fucking straight, it looks like crap because you have to draw 6 parallel lines of different thickness. So don't, and just draw them when they move. Okay, on a completely different note, I need to go ahead and look up who Inumaru is voice actor wise, because what the fuck, I did not expect that boy to have pipes. What? I mean, he's really got pipes. He's got a really, really amazing quality to his voice. There's no scratchiness or growl. Like you can hear it in my voice. I've got almost all the time in all of my vowel sounds, and that would come through if I was singing too. There's that hoarseness to my voice. It's just part of the way that my voice functions, the way my vocal cords are. He has none of that. He is crispy clear. No vibrato on the other side. No scratchy growl in there at all. Just like honey. Just like smooth honey. What the fuck? Oh man. Okay. Mal is down apparently, so Gosenzo-sama, Banbanzai, ANN, please. Hit me with that anime news network. Yeah. Inumaru Yomota, Toshio Furukawa. Who are you again? Theme song performance of AD Police. Interesting. Oh, he's Leon McNichol. Yeah. Chico Steinboard. Detective Yamamura in Case Closed. Somebody in Dr. Slump. He's Piccolo. He is all of Piccolo in the Nihongo. Shin in Fist of the North Star. Satots in Hunter x Hunter. Satots is he's the one with the stash who walks real fast, right? Okay, I can see that. Yeah, okay. He plays Lupin in one of the Lupin films, which is cool. Kai in some of the Gundams. Asuma in... Oh, right. He's Asuma in Pot Labor. Oh, yeah. Okay. That I knew. I just didn't know it. You know? Like, I knew it. I just didn't know it. And Ataru in Urusei Yatsura. So lots of work with Oshii. It makes sense that he would pick him for this, because I would assume that Oshii knew the qualities of his voice and like what he's capable of, and knew that he would fit this character perfectly. Damn. Okay, let's go. Oh, this episode is fucking fascinating, man. This is so cool. As now it's become like a one-man play with only Inumaru. We've got no other characters. There are visuals of characters, but we've got this framing device of we are the soba seller who is just like prompting him with questions and barely just allowing him to speak his part. Okay, and also there's an audience. 'Cause duh, it's a play. Still,